Hey, WestCap team. I'm Josh. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Update AI. I know many of you already. We've worked with many of you already, and Mike and Abhilash have been kind enough to help introduce us to the rest of folks to really kind of continue our partnership and relationship. And so I want to tell you a quick little bit about Update AI. There's some stuff that maybe you thought you knew, but there's more actually that we do that maybe meets the eye. So we're all about voice of the customer, taking the signals from your calls with customers, your meetings, and helping to surface those signals in a very actionable way. We're solving two major challenges. The first is a little bit more strategic. It's what we call the customer intelligence gap. This is that as your company grows, your team members grow, your accounts grow, your revenues grow, you have more and more conversations with customers, whether that's email, Slack, customer meetings. Today, we focus all customer meetings. Everything you're going to see in the demo is all AI generated based on customer meeting data. And shortly, we're adding in email data as well. And so, in any case, you've got all these meetings that are occurring, all the conversational that's increasing, and that's that exponential hockey stick right there. But the absorption of the knowledge from those conversations doesn't grow at the same rate. You add an analyst here, a team lead there, et cetera. You're not able to take all that frontline insight and propagate it around the organization effectively. That delta in between that red area is that customer intelligence gap. So we're helping to solve that. The other thing that we're helping to solve, because this has been a major issue in the past 5 years in SaaS, is the quality of life of CSMs, of AMs, of AEs. That's really the origin story for us. Was we saw that there was just back-to-back pressure on folks talking to customers all day, and that's actually one of the things that's really nice about Update AI is the ICs that are working with us love the product. It helps save them time, and then as we do that, we're generating the insights to help with the customer intelligence gap. And we want to make sure that everything we do is not only valuable, the AI, but it's actionable. So for ICs, pretty straightforward, all about the saving time with our note taker. For team leaders and for teams, it's all about helping to automate knowledge handoffs, automate success plans, account plans, and I'll show you a little bit about that. And then for leaders and executives, it's really giving them the insights at that executive level to be able to arm them with like what are the top trends that keep on bubbling up that we can be more proactive in identifying and sharing throughout the organization. There's also some coaching and enablement stuff there as well. The product is really made in these three pillars, and the first is meeting recaps, pretty straightforward. Account briefs, central hub about all the conversations you've had with your customers with each account, and then the executive level reporting of those voice of customer trends. So let me pause here for a moment, and when I see you again, I'm going to be back in the product to demo it to you. Okay, here we are. Now we're at a meeting level, a meeting recap. Everything's been AI generated. This is a conversation that I had a little while ago, but I wanted to showcase for you how we handle our AI meeting notes. We have the overall kind of TLDR, the general summary of the conversation. I could actually click on any specific part of that, and it takes me straight to
It's
that
it's
moment of
cool.
the conversation where I can then share that out on Slack or wherever I want it to be. I could even select a couple of different of these conversation insights and enter the share wizard will actually create a shared summary that I could easily then send with the rest of the organization. Of course, we capture action items. They're actually fairly precise what we capture. We've worked on that to make sure that it's truly best in class in the industry. And then it starts to get a bit more unique from what you may have seen from other types of note takers. On every customer call, we identify the risks, the churn risks, that is, any growth opportunities, any product feedback, any key questions from the customer, any key decisions that were made together between you and the customer. We hadn't actually launched these two categories during the time of this call, so that's why you're not seeing them there. And then any advocacy moments, any praise moments. This is perfect for like looking for CSQLs or marketing going in there and looking for where people are praising the product. And as you look at these different categories, again, it's all very cross-functional, go-to-market oriented, the insights that we're picking up. We also help you to remove any noise. So if you don't like an insight, if it wasn't relevant, you could flick it off right at that insight level, or you could even turn the entire recap insights off as well. Meeting analytics are straightforward. We give you the talk ratio, and then we also draft for you a client follow-up email that you can use to send right back to the customer. This is a small little nuanced feature, but people love it because it does really save them the cold start problem. Insight frameworks are one of the most interesting features we have. So, we know that sales uses frameworks very heavily, BANT, MEDIC, all those things. CS now as well uses more and more frameworks. You've got success plan types of frameworks of what's the type of information that I want to capture based even on different meeting types, because an implementation conversation, an onboarding session is different from a QBR and EBR. And so you can actually set it so that the different frameworks are applied to different meeting types. Here you can see, again, all AI generated. We've identified we've taken the called data and put it into this framework, and then I can push it over into our CRM of choice so that all this information is captured here, and from the main summary is all placed into the CRM or your CSP as well. It can cascade into so that it's there for everybody to share. Speaking of sharing, I can create a public share link. Our share links are a little fancier because I can actually go ahead and turn on or off which parts of the conversation notes I might want to show. If I don't want to show risks, I just simply turn that off to the public view so I can share that back to the customer. That's our meeting level. Now, the cool thing about this is that it works really well, and it's really only the foundational layer of our product. This is where we're getting all the insights to do some other really interesting stuff. The next pillar where we're doing that interesting stuff is at the account brief level. This is the 360 view of all the conversations that you've had with a prospect or a customer. I can see here in this case all the previous meetings that I've had with DocuSign. If I wanted, I could actually select a few of those and create a summary of just those meetings. That's perfect. If, say, the sales team has had 10, 15 calls, but you don't really want to go through all of them, just select the last three and get a summary of those previous conversations, or as you're coming back from a PTO or whatever the case might be. I can also then go and quickly look and see the update of each of the different conversations here, or go back into those full length meetings. On the stakeholder level, we're doing some really cool stuff. So again, all of this is based on conversational data. We identify whether we think the stakeholder is a decision maker or not, and whether we think they're a detractor or a champion or not. And we're working on some different alerting types of systems based on those signals as well. I can see here different background information about each person. I can see their likes, their dislikes, any feedback they've given, so on and so forth. I can go and see the past meetings they've been in. So this has really helped prepping CSMs and AMs and AEs even to understand the full context of that account at the account level, but also at the stakeholder level as well before they're getting ready for big meetings or even internal reviews. I can see the different topics. Let's punt on that for a second. I want to show you that at the overall portfolio level. And then going back to those frameworks, I can select those frameworks, the same frameworks, but here I can give them a date range. So I could say, show me that BANT or that success plan framework, account plan framework, but over the past 3 months, over the past quarter, and it'll automatically generate that. And then we can even push that into the CSP as well. So we're automatically generating, if you can think of this even as an account handoff plan that you can generate, as a success plan or an internal review that you can generate. This makes it super easy to share that key information with the rest of the org. Account story gives a timeline of the conversations you've had. AMA lets you search for any specific information at the account level. We also have this at the meeting level as well. And now let's go to the third tier of value, which is our topic discovery. You can create any custom topics that you like if there's specific things you're looking for. But more interestingly, and really our hallmark and key differentiator, is that we, without any setup, are proactively looking for the key risk topics, the key product feedback, the key advocacy moments. Again, those same categories we are surfacing. We're taking all the insights at the individual meeting level, clustering them together, and finding the key patterns and trends. And then you can go into that. It'll show you the different customers who have made reference and mention within that particular trend. You can even go and watch those specific clips. It'll take back to those moments of the conversation. I can summarize that trend and so on and so forth. I kind of consider this like the billboard charts of your top risk themes, your top product feedback teams. Product, by the way, which is my background, will love this because they can go in and they can see, what are all the different things people are talking about the product. So they can use this as they make roadmap decisions. I can also slice and dice this reporting by my segment. So I can pick particular accounts, or I can even select different properties that map to my CRM properties. We also have some cool coaching and enablement stuff, scorecards that help you report and understand which of your team members are asking the right questions and obtaining the right information in each of their meetings. We have folders where you can save favorite clips and recaps for everybody to review, and so on and so forth. So I'll stop right there. I really appreciate your taking the time to listen, and would love to be able to chat with each and every one of you to show you the platform. At the very least, give you a sense of the latest technology that's out there as it relates to AI within the realm of CS and post sales. And I'm happy to share my take on other technologies that are out there as well. We're very close, all of us founders. So have a great day. Thank you for listening and looking forward to following up with each of you.